Good day, everyone. So now let's talk all about the rise of Filipino nationalism. The rise of Filipino nationalism started in the late 19th century, influenced by the several factors include Spanish colonial abuse, economic changes, and exposure to liberal ideas. So now let's talk about the opening of Manila to international trade, also known as Galleon, in 1834 will be discussed by Joshua Javier.
The report is about the galleon trade. The galleon trade ay nagre-refer sa mga trades o routes na ginagamit ng mga Espanyol na galleon between the Philippines and Mexico from the late 16th century to the early 19th century, specifically from 1565 to 1815. Ito rin ay tinuturing bilang sa major part of Spain colonial empire na nagpapacilitates toward the exchange of goods gaya ng silver, silk, and mga spices between the Americas, Asia, and Europa, na kung saan ay nakaka-help sa ating economy to grow and fosters specifically in different trades regarding to certain matter and circumstance. Galleon trade also plays a crucial in terms of education, skills, great communication techniques towards other countries that promotes great unity.
Good day everyone, my name is Reynaldo Desierto. Let's talk about economic reforms. The Philippines used to protect its local business by limiting foreign competition, but this led to inefficiency and slow growth. Ngayon, pinapayagan ng bansa ang mas maraming dayuhang pamumuhunan upang dumami ang mga trabaho at mabawasan ng kahirapan. Binababa ng gobyerno ang mga buwis para sa mga negosyo at pinapadali para sa mga dayuhang kumpanya na mamuhunan. Gayunpaman, nananatili ang mga hamon tulad ng mataas na presyo at kawalan ng katiyakan sa buong mundo. But the country is trying to balance protecting its own economy while benefiting from international trade. Halimbawa, isipin mo kung may isang kumpanya lang na gumagawa ng kuryente sa bansa dahil walang kalaban, maaring tumaas ang presyo at bumaba ang kalidad ng serbisyo. Pero kung may ibang kumpanya na papasok at mapapaisip sila at mapipilitan silang pagandahin ng serbisyo at gawing mas abot kaya ang presyo.
The Suez Canal. Ang Suez Canal naman ay nagbukas sa taong 1869. Ito ay man-made waterway sa Egypt that connects Mediterranean Sea to the Red Sea. It is particularly shaped to the travels toward Asia and the Europe without needing to sail around the area of Africa. It also drastically reducing travel time that nakakaboost din ito ng global trade, although it was complete pagkatapos ng galleon trade. And Suez Canal plays a major role in the terms of shaping modern trade routes or specifically routes. At ang Suez Canal din ay pangunahing ruta para sa kalakalang langis. Kaya't maraming bansa tulad ng nasa Europe at Asia ang umaasa dito upang maghatid ng mga kalakal.
My name is Gomez Samuel Jude. At ngayon, pag-uusapan naman natin ang Gumbursa. Sino nga ba ang Gumbursa? Ang Gumbursa ay binubuo ng tatlong paring Pilipino na sina Mariano Gomez, Jose Burgos, at Jacinto Zamora. Alam niyo ba, bago pa ang revolusyon ng KKK, mayroon ng naunang revolusyon. Ito ay tinatawag na Cavite Mutiny. Ito ay naging palpak dahil na-misinterpret nila ang isang fireworks as their signal para simulan ang rebellion. Pinatay ang Gumbursa noong February 17, 1872 sa harap ng publiko sa pamamagitan ng garote. Sila ay natulan ng parusang kamatayan matapos silang akusahan ng mga paring praile na sila ang namuno sa Cavite Mutiny. Pero bago pa man maganap ang Cavite Mutiny, nagiinit na ang dugo ng mga praile sa tatlong pari dahil pinaglalaban nito ang pantay na pagtrato sa mga paring Pilipino. At ginawa nilang dahilan ang Cavite Mutiny upang ipapatay ang tatlong pari dahil ayaw nilang mawalan ng trabaho. At dahil naging kontrobersyal ang pagkamatay ng tatlong pari, ito ay ang nagsisimula ng nasyonalismo sa Pilipinas.
In the late 80s, the Philippines was controlled by Spain. Filipinos faced unfair treatment and hardship, but a group of thinkers decided to fight back. This was the propaganda movement, led by people like Jose Rizal, Marcelo del Pilar, and Gerciano Lopez Haina. They didn't want to break away just yet. They wanted to make life better through books like No Limitangere and the newspaper La Solidaridad. Their ideas inspired many Filipinos to stand up for change. Their fight for change helped spark the Philippine Revolution and shape the country's future.
Paano nga ba pinablisas ni Jose Rizal, Marcelito H. Del Pilar, and Graciano Lopez Aena, which was published in newspaper like La Solidaridad? Here they aired their articles sharing ideas about the need for change, freedom, and resistance to the abuse of the Spaniards. They also include the dissemination of Rizal's novels No Limitangere and El Filibusterismo. They inspire Filipinos to unite and bring change. They also send their books and articles to the Philippines and other countries to reach more people and attach the attention of the Spaniards.
Okay, trivia muna tayo about sa La Liga Filipina. La Liga Filipina was a reformist organization founded in the Philippines on July 3, 1892 by Dr. Jose Rizal, the national hero of the Philippines. Its goal was to unite Filipinos and fight for social reforms under Spanish colonial rule, focusing on issues like better representation in the Spanish courts, parliament, equal rights for Filipinos, and the improvement welfare of the people.
La Liga Filipina aimed to bring about changes through peaceful and legal means. However, it was short-lived because the Spanish authorities, fearing the influence of Dr. Jose Rizal and the movement, that quickly suppressed it. And that's the reason why Dr. Jose Rizal was arrested on July 6, 1892 and thrown in the Pitan on July 7, 1892. La Liga Filipina was disbanded shortly after its formation.
Katipunan and the Revolution of 1896. The Katipunan are a secret society founded in 1892 by Andres Bonifacio aimed to overthrow Spanish rule and establish an independent republic in the Philippines. The members of the Katipunan promoted ideas of freedom and resistance against Spanish colonizers. They used secret meetings, symbols, and visions to unite and organize movements against the Spanish. In 1896, the Spanish authorities discovered the Katipunan promoting Bonifacio and his confederacy to launch a widespread uprising on August 23, 1896. The revolution began with the cry of Balintawak, also known as the cry of Tugadlaw, where the revolutionaries demonstrated their break from Spanish rule by steering the cedulas beside the NCE certificates or identification documents symbolizing their separation from Spanish authority.
The cry of Pugadlawin. Andres Bonifacio and his followers tore their cedulas personnels on August 23, 1896. As a symbol of defiance against Spanish rules, known as a cry of Balintawak or cry of Pugadlawin.
Many Filipinos inspired their fellow countrymen to fight for independence. Jose Rizal's novels No Limitangere and El Filibusterismo exposed Spanish abuses, awakening Filipino nationalism.